Some major nerfs are coming to some of the toughest dungeons in Raid Shadow Legends, guys. And of course, we have quite a few things coming in the next patch. It's definitely going to be a pretty big one because we have new features, new QOL changes, new divinity for the blessings, and tons of different things, new champions, etc. But Raid released a video with what's next in Raid, so we're gonna do a reaction to it, guys. We're gonna see exactly what changes are coming to the bosses, what nerfs are they receiving, because these are definitely the toughest bosses in the game.
Hey everyone, update 8.60 is almost here, so it's time for our regular sneak peek at what we've been working on.
Bring it on.
Let's dive in. First up, we're introducing a 5th divinity, Harmony. Like the other divinities, there'll be 6 new blessings, focused on healing.
And just to stop it a little bit here, guys, I do think that the new blessings, the new divinity sucks ass, pardon my French. I don't think that any of these blessings are impactful enough to have a chance to even compete with some of the older blessings. But do let me know in the comments down below, please. What do you guys think about them? Are you a fan of any of them? Do you think you're going to replace a Crushing Grand? Do you think you're going to replace a Polymorph? Do you think you're going to replace something else that is very impactful at the moment with one of the new blessings? Now, I'm not saying you cannot use them. I do think that they are decent-ish, a couple of them. But 4 of them, I do think they're really, really underwhelming, considering that they've been added to the game now, you know?
Healing and strengthening your team using the power of nature. Far out, man. One of the new rare blessings is called Nourish, and it'll improve the strength of continuous heal buffs placed by the wearer, and restore any destroyed max HP for good measure. Pretty sweet, right? Well, Harmony isn't all about peace and love. One of the epic blessings, called Neutralize, will grant a chance to land debuffs through poison cloud buffs.
I just wish this would have been at 6-star, 100% chance to do it, because if no, it's pointless. You're just basically gambling with the RNG, and why would you put this blessing on your characters that's just RNG when you can find different ways on how you can deal with the Toxic Cloud and have a much better blessing like Cruelty, for example, on your AoE champions to decrease the defense of the Hydra heads? You know, it just doesn't make sense.
And the legendary blessing, Cracking Roots, will increase a champion's damage against targets with stone skin.
So again, increases the damage versus targets that have stone skin. If you want to use it on champions that really make a difference versus stone skin, they will probably ignore stone skin. The other ones will not be able to break stone skin on the support champions. Yes, you can break stone skin on a damage dealer. It's much harder to break stone skin on a Marichka, on a Duchess, on a UDK. So I don't think it's going to replace any of the blessings that increase the damage with the HP burn, right? Like, that's still a much better option. Now, for the rest of it, why do you want to get that over a different blessing that will increase your damage all the time, not just stone skin? You need to kill that champion after you break the stone skin. So if your damage is not there anymore because the blessing is gone because you broke the stone skin, or the enemy doesn't have stone skin anymore because it expired, I find it pretty pointless, unless they have something else planned ahead.
Assume that with a name like Harmony, these new blessings are just for support champions. Some will have your attackers hitting harder too. Harmonious boons for everyone. Keep your eyes peeled for more details. We'll be posting a full infographic with all 6 blessings in our update highlights on our official forum and social media. Update 8.60 also answers a long-standing community request: the ability to make gear presets. When you use the fitting room...
Now, I'm super, super excited for these guys. This is honestly one of my most favorite features that was added to the game ever. Yes, the instant artifact leveling up QOL was amazing. The instant clan boss was amazing. And this is literally at the same level, in my opinion.
You'll now be able to save your favorite combinations of artifacts and accessories for quick and easy use. Just fill out the slots with the artifacts or accessories you're trying on and tap the save button. But
easy.
There's more to it than that. You'll be able to choose whether you want to save your choice at...
I like that you have 2 different options. Now, I did not even thought about this option as having a global preset, so you can equip it on any champion that you want. So I do think that is a very awesome thing, especially if you're talking about a stun sets that you're planning to use on multiple champions from different factions, etc. Is much better to save them as a global preset, so you can easily just quick tap and change the build. Now, save a champion preset is going to be absolutely insane, especially if you're doing Platinum Arena. Just imagine right now you're getting bombed. You're baiting somebody to bomb you. You're quickly swapping the preset, bang, you're making the enemy lose, and it's gonna create so much trash talk for Platinum Arena because of it. People constantly changing builds and stuff, you know?
As a champion preset or a global preset. As you might have guessed, champion presets are locked to specific champions, while global presets can be equipped by any champion in your collection. Artifacts and...
So, just 1 second. You have the champion presets. I thought that you have 5 champion presets for each champion, not for all of the champions in total, because that's a bit weird. Like, we have 800 champions. You want to tell me that out of the 800 champions, we have 5 presets in total, or what? Because right here, it shows 2 out of 5, and they're 2 different champions. So I'm a bit confused by this part. Is that it? 5 presets for all the champions. And then you have the 50 for the global ones. That's a bit odd. Like, we should have at least 50 for the champions. We should be able to make presets for at least 50 champions.
Accessories will have separate presets, and you'll be able to switch between them by tapping on their respective icons. Once you've saved a preset, you can then switch up your champion's gear with a few simple taps. Now, we know that changing gear can leave you short on silver, but we've got a little something to help with that. That's the main problem. We're introducing the free gear removal booster, which can be earned from hard difficulty stages in the Cursed City. When activated from your inbox, these boosters will... So we have 1 hour and 3 hours. We were not aware of the 3-hour ones. They haven't mentioned them. Guessed it, completely reduce the amount of silver it takes to remove gear. Activate a booster and use the limited time window to swap out as much gear as possible and conquer new stages. Oh, and one more thing.
So let me just give you guys a quick tip on how you can make the most out of these 1-hour boosters, right? Because it's not enough time to rebuild your entire account. But you can make a lot of presets. You can make a lot of presets before. It doesn't cost you silver to create the presets. And then when you activate that 1-hour thing, you just go on and you activate all of the presets. Bang, 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 bang. And like that, in 1 hour, you're done with all of the builds that you were planning to change, you know? So you can make the most out of it with 1 hour too, if you're using it smart.
We're also adding the Hide Set Filters button to the accessories menu, so you can browse and equip to your heart's content. The next major part...
So you can hide set filters. You can hide the specific ones, but you cannot select what to hide. That's a bit odd. Why not allow us to select what we want to see?
Part of this update will bring something we've been promising for a while.
Finally.
It's time for balance changes to Raid's toughest dungeons. The Iron Twins Fortress, the Sand Devil's Necropolis, and the Phantom Shogun's Grove. We've turned down the dials on the Iron Twins, nerfing this killing machine's total HP, defense, resistance, and most importantly, accuracy.
That's massive, because this boss has a lot of accuracy, has a lot of resistance. I don't even know how much HP and defense he has. The main thing is that the resistance and the accuracy on the boss are pretty crazy. Now, if you want to resist this boss, you kind of like needed like 750 to 800 resistance. Then you need 500 plus accuracy. So I'm curious to see if they knocked it down to like 400 on each, or what exactly they've done. The HP and defense, yeah, it's going to be squishier. But the main thing that people were struggling with was getting resistance, getting accuracy. And if you are not going with the resistance build, because it was so hard to get the resistance, was just getting the accuracy, you know?
It'll be a lot easier to resist those nasty Iron Brand debuffs and land your own. Speaking of Iron Brand, we're reducing the amount of stacks applied by the Fires of Insanity and Ruinous Swath skills.
Okay.
We're also reducing how often the Iron Twins activate the Retaliatory Launch skill. Instead...
Oh, so you've heard that, guys. So, basically, before he was literally popping that secret skill and cleansing very often. I can't even remember if it was every 10% HP or something like that. Now he's only going to do it a few times. But it's funny seeing Newt in here, because the boss has that passive that reduces the damage for each extra hit the champion is placing with one skill. So it's funny that he's still smashing the boss, you know?
Instead of 4 times, it'll only happen when the Iron Twins' HP drops below 80%, 60%, and 40% of their max HP.
Much better, much better.
Offensive capabilities reduced. Time for Anime to face the Nerf bat. Get it?
Let's see here.
Bat?
This is the toughest.
He's also getting a significant decrease to all of his stats except attack and speed. And
beautiful. So resistance is not necessarily important on how much resistance we need to go versus this boss. The accuracy. You need 550 plus accuracy to don't get resisted more than 3%, you know? And it's just crazy how hard it is to get everything sorted for this. So very, very curious to see what they're doing. Keep in mind, when they are nerfing the HP, the enemy max HP champions will deal less damage, okay? So that's not necessarily a good thing. If they were nerfing, for example, the defense, it would have been better for other damage dealers. And is better for other damage dealers now, you know, but everything is going to do less damage versus less HP, basically.
And we're increasing his slumber counter as well. Sand Devils still need the beauty sleep. At lower stages, the slumber counter will increase to 16, and at higher stages, it's now 8. So you've got plenty of hits to get your debuffs in. That's not all, though. Al-Nameh will now only destroy 5% of your champion's max HP instead of 10%.
So this will make it much easier for solo champions, duo champions, because he's not destroying as much HP. The Godseeker and Iri duo teams will definitely become 100% now, just because if your champions get resisted on a HP burn or Brimstone doesn't proc, the boss won't destroy as much HP, so it's going to be much easier for Godseeker and Iri to recover it, and he's not going to fail anymore every now and then, because that was happening, you know.
And we're reducing Rest for the Wicked's damage reduction by 15% for each debuff instead of 10%. Essentially...
Ooh, much better. So this is going to benefit the enemy max HP nukers a lot, because if you don't have all the debuffs on that you are planning to apply in order to reach the enemy max HP cap, now you will definitely do it because of this extra 5% increased damage. So it's gonna be massive like this. It's definitely gonna be more accessible, but it's pretty much still the same sort of strategy. You will have more time to put debuffs on the boss and stuff, but overall, you still need to follow the exact same mechanics.
You'll survive longer and hit harder. Win-win. Then there's Akumori, the Phantom Shogun. Okay. This poor Spectral Warlord is getting his stats nerfed the hardest. Ouch.
You see, why the hardest, though? Why the hardest? Because out of all three of them, this was the more accessible ones. We had so many cheese free-to-play friendly teams that were doing it with Nalhern and other champions. So why is he getting nerfed the most out of all of them?
The Shadow skill has been changed, so now you can remove up to 10 stacks of the Shade counter for every 3 hits, depending on a champion's awakening level. Akumori's Shroud of the Shogun passive is also changing, so it now grants him less Shade stacks for every weak hit champions land on him. To make matters worse for Akumori, the number of Shade stacks that he needs for each immunity or buff has been increased by 10. Exercise your power and send this ghost on to the afterlife. There is one small catch with these rebalances. These new stats will only affect them in their dungeons. The Iron Twins and Al-Nameh will still be as powerful as they were before when you're facing them in the Cursed City. Well, almost as powerful.
So in the Cursed City, they're still the same. They're just not the same in dungeons. And I feel like with the Shogun, is the dungeon that a lot of people don't farm, because let's be honest, that's the least of the concerns from all of the dungeons. You don't care so much about ascending your accessories because you're not getting so much value except the amulet. So that might be the main reason why people are not farming that dungeon as much as the Sand Devil or as much as the Iron Twins, you know, because you're not really getting as much benefit. This is more of a dungeon that, I don't know, whales and krakens farm the most, you know, because you're not getting insane value out of it. So it makes sense for free-to-play player, low spenders, to don't bother with this dungeon as much. And that's my advice to all of you guys, you know.
The skill changes will apply. Keep an eye out for the full update highlights. We'll feature a detailed infographic on these changes. It'll feature all the exact nuts and bolts changes on stats and skills, so you theory crafters can start scheming. That's almost everything, but we've got just enough time to show off some of the gorgeous new champions we've got in the pipeline. There's a terrible and mighty faction unity champion for the Ogren tribes, and a sneaky new mythical champion for the Sylvan Watchers, with a few feathers in his cap. And hey,
they look
does
awesome,
that look like the Arbiter? Whew. That's a hefty update. We hope you're excited about the changes coming in Update 8.60. In the meantime, don't forget to like the...
So that was all, guys. That was all. Not too bad. The nerfs to the bosses will definitely be impactful. I know they might not sound as impactful, but reducing their stats and increasing the counters, increasing the damage and stuff like this on all of their secret things in our favor is actually a very, very good thing. Now, I mentioned the same mechanics still need to be used versus them, which is fine, but it will be definitely much easier to get them done. Now, the speed on this boss was only reduced up the way, all the way up to stage 19. On stage 25, he still has 350 speed, which is crazy. But that was all for the video, guys. Much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.